Caitlin's ready, Todd's ready, so let's begin another edition of the Racin It Out podcast. I guess this will be the final 2023 edition, holiday festive celebration, the festive special, if I dare drag in that sort of food reference. We're not handing out, is it Toblerone or Lindt chocolates that they're giving out now? I can't even remember because I haven't seen the commercials in a while, but it's a festive special without chocolate distribution. So you'll get enough of that over the holidays, I think.
It is also our 30th episode.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is there a 25 is silver? I don't know if there's a special 30th anniversary coin, emblem, medal, or whatever.
There probably is.
I'm sure there is. There's sort of a designation for everything. So, but no, it's good. And like we're sort of in the funky part of the year where all the racing schedules are done and completed, especially since the whole snowball derby and everything is all over with in Pensacola. And now it's kind of, we're shifting into off-season mode. Teams are busy and stuff because like there's an IMSA test that just happened at Daytona. There's going to be some other testing that goes on before the end of the year. There was
NASCAR at Phoenix, wasn't there?
NASCAR was at Phoenix too. That's right. So there's more. There'll be a little break during the holidays, and then it kind of kicks right off again in January, which is why I chose the Daytona background, because we'll be into the Roar and the Rolex 24 and then the Daytona 500 before too long. So I'm already looking ahead to next year and excited about it.
I'm reminiscing on warm times.
The vineyard and the glasses that were filled with different kinds of wines, be
the
they
reds,
red,
the
be
whites,
they white.
and the rosés.
Tried them all. Yeah.
I will drink any kind of wine.
Really? I've become less and less of a wine drinker. I used to drink lots of red. I don't remember the last time I actually had a glass of red. I drink more white now. I do enjoy Prosecco and champagne, but the reds have kind of been phased out of my life.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, just sort of your taste change, your tastes evolve and stuff. So, but it's much more white and sparkly wines and stuff. So
that's interesting, because when I first started drinking, it was all white.
At
because
14
it was
or 15 or
it was like 15, 16, whatever the Bush party started in my
right,
hometown.
Yeah. Right.
And it definitely wasn't wine at that age, I'll tell you that.
No, definitely not.
I think my college go-to was Bacardi Breezers, because they were $10 for a giant jug of that, and then you would get like a thing of tequila and toss it in there. Mom, don't listen to this episode. But I started, when I first got into wine, was whites. I really liked the whites because they were easier to drink than the reds. But I've found now that I guess it's like whether I've gotten a bigger appreciation for wine, or like you said, tastes have changed. My go-to is actually more reds because I find them more challenging.
Oh, interesting. Now, what kind of reds? Anyone in particular? Is it Cabernet?
My two favorite right now are Malbecs and Chiantis.
Okay, interesting. So, I was very much enjoyed Cabernet Sauvignon.
And Shiraz.
Not as much, but it was mostly Cabernet. On the odd occasion too, if you want a big, giant, smack you in the head red, it's a Barolo.
Oh, I don't think I've tried a Barolo yet.
Very big flavor, very bold. So good if you're having a great with a steak or something like that. So if you're so inclined. But yeah, it's no, it's funny you mentioned the go-to in the, let's say, the early years of alcohol consumption is just, I find everyone has one particular thing that, yeah, you had a bad experience with, and I'll stay away from that for the rest of my life. You're nodding your head saying, okay, tell me what it is.
So I have two.
Okay.
And so the one is Fireball. I hate like cinnamon hearts, anything like that. It's like to the point where it's like, if a drink has Fireball in it, like a cocktail, I'm not vibing with it. Not vibing with it. I just think it's also, I had a roommate in college that was obsessed with it and would drink it every single night. So not my jam.
Sure.
The other one, and it was really bad for a while, and it's kind of died back, but it's still, I refuse to shoot it, and I refuse to, like, if I have a drink that just tastes so strongly of it, I can't do it. So vodka.
Really?
Yes. And the summary of the story was, one night, it was my second semester of college. I was living in res, and there was a couple of us, and someone brought back a giant bottle of vodka from Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And the three of us downed that entire bottle in a night.
That's often the story.
I have never felt so ill in my life. It is the most I have gotten sick from drinking.
Yep.
And ever since then, I can't do, and it was ridiculous because vodka cranberries were my go-to. It's like the quintessential college, like vodka cranberry stuff
course,
like that.
Yes.
But I can't do it anymore.
I get it. That's why I said everybody's got, a thing. I personally enjoy very much the vodka drinks, but mine is Southern Comfort for the same reason. Quick consumption, and it did not go well the rest of the evening and the next day and stuff. However, of late, I have found that I am enjoying whiskeys, bourbons much more, and really enjoying and appreciating them. Not the Southern Comfort brand in particular, but it's just as a lemonade or as part of a cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
They're fantastic. I like the big rich flavors that go along with it. So it's I guess your changes evolve and move along, but I'm enjoying those kind of cocktails.
Yeah, and people, my friends think I'm crazy because it's like I like gin. And it's like, I can appreciate a really good martini or, gin and tonic and things like that. My go-to when it's just like, and if you went drinking with me in Newfoundland this year, you can fully attest to this. My go-to, because my stomach was still so ill that entire trip. It was like, I felt like I was getting scurvy because I had no vegetables the entire trip. I had nothing. My stomach, and this is my go-to anytime I'm like, I feel hungover and I'm drinking again the next day, or I'm going out and just, maybe my stomach's not up to par or I ate something really greasy is, and shout out to Savannah for putting me on this one. Also, she in Newfoundland, tequila soda and lime. Low sugar, so you won't get a wicked hangover off of it. And it's just easy. It's just so simple. It goes down. It's light.
It's refreshing. It's good. It's practically good for you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. It's just water.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. And we're sort of moving down this road in terms of topics, I think, because we're heading into the holiday season where there's lots of, you're visiting with family and friends and there's work functions sometimes. So there's always lots of socializing and everything. We'll emphasize this because everyone should be responsible if you are indulging in whatever your particular passion is.
But also,
yes,
you don't need to drink alcohol to have a good time.
Absolutely. I said, if you choose not to, that's also perfectly acceptable. And don't feel the need to hassle or prompt someone if they do decline. So it's a respectful thing. So, but it makes me think too that we're gonna be getting into all the traditional holiday gatherings and food and staples, because there's usually, whether it's family, whether it's a group of friends, you always have at least one or two or three familiar dishes and stuff that we always have this on the holidays and stuff. So and it could be as simple as the traditional turkey and dressing. I call it dressing because I don't stuff mine into the bird. I cook it separately. But I make great turkey and dressing, often also referred to as ass bread, but it's
what?
Well, because you basically take stale bread and stuff it in the turkey's butt. So that's how it sort of coined the name. But anyhow, I do.
I've never heard that before.
They're terrific. Oh no, see, this is the educational podcast. So yeah, those are some of the things. Other people have different dishes that a relative or friend sometimes make. So, but those are the first two, and I look forward to it every year. Like turkey, dressing, they're must-haves on Thanksgiving and Christmas as well.
I'm trying to think. We don't have so many food traditions, I don't think. Big tradition for like my mom, my sister, and I was always doing our Christmas baking.
Oh yeah.
So we would do like a crap ton of baking because my mom would always like to do up plates for like her coworkers or neighbors, and when we were in like after school activities, like for that as well. So we'd always do this.
I would say that baking is a food tradition, but that's just me. So
no, and that's what I mean. It's one of the food traditions.
Right.
It's like I can't think of that many. Like, oh, we always have this dish on Thanksgiving or something like, or on Christmas or something like that.
Right.
I will say every family gathering, I always persuade my grandmother to make deviled eggs.
Right.
I love her deviled eggs.
And again, these are the kinds of things. Now, do you bake one or two things in particular, or do you change it up all the time?
Honestly, my mom's the dictator in that world.
She decides.
Changes. So it will change from year to year. Sometimes she'll find something that's like she really wants to try on Facebook or something like that. But then, we have our go-tos like the peppermint fudge or the candy cane fudge, Tutti Frutti Chews. And I think there's cocoa balls is usually another one. And I think there's like maybe one or two more in there that we always do every year. And then they'll kind of rotate some of the other ones out.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't know if there was, traditional shortbread or mincemeat.
Shortbread is one of them.
Shortbread is one. Yeah. Okay. Stuff like that. Okay. Those are all good things. But that's what I mean is I'm going to visit this person or this group is gathering together and we always do this. And that's part of the great thing about the holiday traditions and stuff is do you have other family traditions? There are some that we all sit in Christmas pajamas and watch Christmas movies? Is there a favorite Christmas movie? We should talk about that. Is there favorite Christmas movies and stuff, of course, too, which probably, well, there's favorite movies, of the Christmas nature. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is brilliant every time you see it. And I think I've seen it 4 times already this year.
Year?
Oh, I think it was the TBS or TNT in the US that ran it nonstop for 24 hours. So you couldn't help but hit it. It's crazy. Yeah. It's just, it always, are you of the belief that Die Hard is or isn't a Christmas movie? Because that's apparently a very divisive a question for some people.
I have heard that is a very divisive question. I've also heard that is also a question around Star Wars, because for some reason there's always a Star Wars marathon going on over Christmas.
Yeah,
or Harry Potter.
But it's not Christmas themed or centered around Christmas. So that's why I sort of include Die Hard as being kind of a Christmas movie.
I am indifferent because I could care less if you consider it a Christmas movie, but it is not my style of Christmas movie.
I gotcha. It sort of has a bit of a happy ending in that the villain dies and the couple drive off together and celebrate Christmas or whatever. So there's a variation. People do different things, different traditions and stuff. So that's okay.
Well, there's also the huge divide on whether or not The Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie.
There you go. I know. And this has caused arguments left and right about whether it is or whether it isn't. So
I call it my hybrid movie.
It's there doesn't have to be.
I don't watch it for Halloween or Christmas. I watch it in between to transition me from one celebration to the other.
See, there's always an equitable solution. I'm also a big fan of the classic animated Christmas special, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's
the classic one. Yes.
The half hour. I just watched it the other night, as a matter of fact, with Boris Karloff narrating and playing the role of the Grinch. It's absolutely fantastic. An absolute favorite. So these are some of the things. Now, the other thing that we've kind of done in taking a strip out of the Seinfeld episode is when my family will gather is we will have the airing of the grievances when we celebrate Festivus together, which will be on the 23rd of December.
That was never a tradition that any of my friends or family undertook. I didn't even really know about it until a few years ago. And it was great. I was like, this is a pretty cool tradition, but I feel like I don't know enough people that know it to get into it.
Oh yeah, it's super fun. Yeah.
Our go-to for the week of Christmas is the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because what are there, 3 or 4 of them? I can't remember.
There's 4 now. Or there's 3 movies, and I can't remember. They've like revived it. I can't remember if it was for a movie or TV show on Disney Plus. Haven't watched it. I like the original 3. I'll stick with that. But watching those and especially the original one. The original one's just peak 90s Christmas vibes.
And that's it. It's just you have that warm connection with family and friends, and friends or family basically this time of year too. And it's just, that's a connection. It's something that we always do. It's the reason you kind of gather together, but enjoy the time together, enjoy food or drink or whatever, and just have time together. So that's the best part.
One of the biggest Christmas traditions that my mom started for my sister and I when we were like newborns was every year she would get us an ornament for the tree. I feel like I've mentioned this on the podcast before. Up until we were, I think, 25 or somewhere in there, or up until we like moved out. So she doesn't get them for us anymore. But since moving out, I've started getting ornaments every year.
A new one every year.
Yeah, a new one every year to signify either a big moment in my life or an activity that I was interested in that year. So last year it was I got an ornament to signify that my boyfriend and I had moved in together.
Right.
This year we've moved into our own place. So I got an ornament signifying that. And now he's actually gotten excited and he's like, oh, this is kind of cool. We should get one for like ultimate frisbee or volleyball and stuff like that. And I was like, well, they're not going to come in time for Christmas, nor do we have a Christmas tree this year because we have just moved.
Sure.
We don't have
that was too much to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, we don't have, as much as I would love a Christmas tree, we can't, I can't this year.
But and again, these are just parts of the festive holiday season, whatever your celebration is. If it's a religious affiliation, that's fine too. If it's not, in my case, it's not. I'm not a super religious person at all. So, but it's just, these are the fun, get together, enjoy time together sort of traditions. And then once you get through what's normally Christmas and then Boxing Day, and some people have the tradition of, it's the after Christmas holiday shop and stuff like that, and that's fine. But then you get to the other celebration, which comes in quick succession, which is New Year and New Year's Eve. And do you celebrate? Do you go out? Do you stay in? Is it a big group? Is it a small group? And over the years, it's become very low key. New Year's Eve, quiet, easy. And I don't make New Year's resolutions. I've never really thought before of, because I think if you want to do and start something different, just start it. Don't wait for this marker in the road to do it. I always tend to look forward as opposed to look backward. And it's not like I'm happy to see years go, but I'm always looking forward and I guess hopeful and optimistic about what's ahead.
No, I 100% agree. And in terms of celebration, I've always kind of fluctuated. It's like some years it's just like the quiet, like our own little thing. And then other years it's let's go out on the town and go to a party and celebrate. I'm not sure what we're going to do. We were actually talking about maybe doing like a board game night with some friends here. Because I do like to celebrate it. While I agree with you in if the New Year's resolutions, all that stuff, that's not indicative of whether or not a goal or a want you have for your life is going to succeed, just because there's a turning of a page. While it can create inspiration, and I do like to take from that inspiration, I like the magic you kind of feel in that moment of like, it is a new day, it is a new year. Because like I said, I like to pull from that inspiration to find like creativity and passion and motivation sometimes to either use as a launching pad or use just even, like I said, as inspiration. So
it's a good way to look at it. And you're right. If it gives you inspiration and motivation to tackle a new task or something that you want to get into, that's great. I always find it funny in the last few years is that you start going in January because all the fitness clubs have specials of sign up, start the new year with zero membership and everything. And it's busy, for the first couple of weeks of January. And then you find it starts to taper off into February. And by March, you're back to the normal levels of busy at whatever gym or fitness club that you go to.
Well, when I was actively going to gym and fitness clubs, I would actually stay away from the gyms during those periods of time because they would just be so ridiculously busy. And it's like, when I'm working out, I like my own space.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't like.
Why is it that if you're on a machine, whether it's a bike or I'm the elliptical person myself, is that if there's a row of 15 of them, Do you need to use the one that's right beside me?
Oh,
no.
That drives me up the fucking wall.
Cannot understand that. A little professional distance. At
I
least
feel
leave
that with
one
even just
space.
parking your car. It's like, no, that drives me literally up the wall, especially when it's like, and pet peeve.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't understand that. So they're all the same machine. I don't get why you anyhow. But
unless
now,
you turn to me while you do that and say, "I'm so sorry, but this is literally the best one in the gym, and I've tried and trialed it."
okay,
Then
I want to see verification that you've been on all of them, and this one is somehow magical that you have to use this particular one. They're all the same. I
not necessarily,
okay,
because it's like if some
I understand you. Okay, so the resistance might vary somewhat, but you know what? You can adjust that. If it's like, oh, it's a little this one's a little freer than the other one, go up a step. Or vice versa. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I know some people that it's like, and it depends on your gym too. It's like if it's in front of a mirror, they don't like those ones. And that's like, and it's like, but chances are there are other ones that are in front of a mirror.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's like if it's literally like you are in one and there's like 10 on either side still available and you pick the one right next to me, I hate you.
I don't get that. I
don't
do not get that.
I don't care if it's the best one. I don't care if it's in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
Pick another one.
Pick another one. That's it. Move along. So, okay. Yeah, that's good. So but again, and it's the funny time of year. The schedules are a bit wonky. People forget what day it is too, because you got holidays and some people are on holidays, some people are not on holidays. But it's, just go with it, enjoy it, and have fun with it, because this is also, I'm finding, the craziest couple of weeks
oh my God,
out of the year, because everybody, you have a little bit of, I'm rushing to get everything done, and then you get into, I haven't really found it yet, but probably in the next day or so, people will be saying to you, yeah, let's just worry about that in January.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. And it's like we're celebrating my family side of Christmas this weekend, so we're leaving in the next couple days to go back to Ottawa. Right. And it snuck up on me because in my head I'm like, oh, Christmas is still 2 weeks away, but it's like, yeah, Christmas is still 2 weeks away, but
not for
Caitlin's
everyone.
family Christmas is is this week, and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't done any shopping. Yeah. Did you see the funny, it's been going around on TikTok and Instagram and I think Twitter as well, of this Zoom meeting from this corporate company that somebody asks for a report by EOD. What does EOD mean, Todd?
End of day.
Yes. This guy on this call thought it meant end of December. So he's like, yeah, I'll get that to you by December 31st. And they're like, no, we need this by EOD. And they're like, yeah, like I'll have it in the next couple of weeks. No, end of day. What do you think? And it was just a whole discussion. And it's like, we're really in that period of time now where it's like,
yes. Is this the business confusion of acronyms like LOL?
Probably, yeah. Well, it took me until I started working for NASCAR to figure out what OOO meant.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd never seen anyone use it until I worked for NASCAR. And even that, it was like a year or two into it that someone was like, I'm OOO. And I'm like, what the fuck does OOO mean? Out of office. I was like,
okay.
All right.
See, you got to know. Otherwise, so make sure that you use them in correct context. Otherwise, you get people confused.
Yeah. What could you mistake OOO with, though?
I don't even want to imagine. Don't even want to imagine.
Out on ocean.
Good. I don't really have any food stories of restaurants or places that I visited. We talked a lot about food a bit earlier. Do you have one that you wanted to mention? I know, at least.
Yeah. So I finally took Todd's recommendation in going to Hey Lucy.
Yeah.
Here in downtown Toronto, and it was half price wine night. So and I got a Melback as well, so I was very excited. I got their chicken and brie pizza. The dough, it was phenomenal. Yes. But I got the chicken and brie pizza and I added prosciutto to it. I'm not complaining. It was fantastic. It hit the spot. It was a glorified cheesy garlic bread.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm not complaining, but it's like I've been into I took one full bite and my friend goes, "How was your pizza?" And I'm like, not gonna lie, I love it. It's great.
But it's not really pizza.
It's cheesy garlic bread.
Okay.
So because it was a cream sauce, didn't really feel the cream sauce, but what had happened with that cream sauce and the brie is they had congealed together and baked flat. So it was really like crispy and tight. And then it also had roasted garlic on it.
Oh, wow.
Very good. 100% recommend it. Be aware, it is glorified garlic bread.
It ain't pizza.
It ain't pizza. But no, still very good. We ended up getting dessert as well. We got the calamari. Fabulous. Loved it. What else did I have? I had finally went to the St. Lawrence Market. Never been before.
Right.
Loved it. Wish we could go now because it's all the Christmas markets and stuff. Do not want to go into that tourist trap though. Loved it. I love, my whole family's from the East Coast, specifically St. John, New Brunswick, and they have a fish market there. So it was very nostalgic to my childhood of walking into this big market and smelling all these smells and all the vendors along the side where you can get food. And I ended up going to a deli and getting a sandwich, and it was was great. I got a nice big pickle. I love when delis give you pickles.
A good pickle, yes.
A good pickle.
Makes the sandwich.
And then another one was I was out drinking out on the town with some friends a couple of weeks ago, and this friend in our group took us to this bar that is a speakeasy down on King Street, attached to the Champagne Oysters and Coffee Oysters and Champagne, whatever that way goes. Super beautiful inside. Highly recommend if you're ever looking for like a cool spot to go out for drinks.
Nice.
So, and the cocktails were phenomenal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. So we're in the holiday spirit. It's time.
Yes.
Looking ahead, couple of good weeks of holiday season and celebrations, family, friends, all the rest of it. We'll get back into the racing talk, and once things get cranked up again in January with testing and then the events will be happening. Chili Bowl. There you go. That's right. So it'll be happening pretty quickly. The thoughts, ideas, recommendations, suggestions, and inferences made on the Racin It Out podcast with Todd and Caitlin are those of Todd and Caitlin. Do not represent the views of anyone they have not thought of or may at some point work for in the near or long distance future.
See, I was like, do we really need to do a disclaimer on this episode? Because we didn't really talk about any racing. We just talked about our food and Christmas plans. But yeah, better safe than sorry.
If you don't like our opinion, well, it's our opinion. So deal with it.
If you don't like turkey at Christmas,
eat something else.
Eat something else. There's plenty of food out there that you can have.
All right. So go and enjoy it. We'll have fun.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2024.